FlossTube. This is Barb with Lost and Floss. I've missed you. Seems like forever since I've recorded a video, a regular video at least. I've kind of been here, there, and everywhere. Let me see. My last video was probably sometime in September, I believe. We spent 3 weeks in beautiful Portugal, traveling about and having lots of adventures. I'll probably talk about that more at the end of the video, as per my usual. And 5 days babysitting our grandchildren. And then after that, I was off to retreat in Amana. And I feel like I left and it was summer and came back and it's almost Thanksgiving. It's crazy in my mind that it can be fall and so far into fall. So today was actually the first day I hauled out a sweater. Been making do with fleece, but it's a beautiful crisp morning in Wisconsin. I had a nice walk with a couple neighbor ladies and it was a great way to start the day. Came back and thought, if I don't do this today, it's going to be another week or so. So pardon me if it's disorganized or in disarray, but it's just how it's going to be. Otherwise, I'm not going to get it done if I try to be too organized about it. So welcome back to any returning viewers and welcome to any new viewers. We're getting really close to the point where I do a giveaway. In fact, next video, I might just do it anyways because I have a number of things I'd like to share with you and it's always fun. So if you haven't subscribed, please do that way and check the little bells so you know when a new video has been released because I am very sporadic. Well, that's enough of that. Let's just jump right in and I'm going to show you my FOs first. So if you've watched me before, you know that if my rule about Prairie Schooler Santas, I always stitch the current year, at least for the last probably 5. And in addition to that, I try to start a new one when I cross the state borders. So this year I did the 2024. And I'm stitching, these are tiny, I'm stitching them 1/1 on 24 count vintage country mocha Lugana. So that guy is really cute. And actually it went pretty fast with all that back stitching. Let's see, these are the other ones that I don't really, okay, this is 2011 Santa. He's got his snowshoes finally filled in. And I tried to put the date of the chart bigger and then the date I stitched it littler somewhere on the chart. Let's see, this is 2014 and 1998 Santa. So I do them as a flat finish, so I know if I fuse something to the back of them, I'll have enough of a border to stretch them over the mat board. If I had to do it all over again, I would probably add an extra inch, but that's how it goes. All right, let's talk about the stocking, shall we? For those of you new to the channel, you know I've been, well, no, you don't know, but the other people know. The Gold Collection Rooftop Santa Stocking. This is a chart I bought on eBay or Etsy. I can't remember which, but it's an out of print chart, and I love this one so much. I knew I had to find it, and I'm making some good progress on this. Look at, I decided not to go on to Santa's face, but I'm continuing down, and that chimney is really taking hold. So I can't wait. Like now it's getting fun to stitch. So I will continue to bring up the stocking because I love it so much. All right, now I've got a lot of different things to share with you. I actually, for being gone, I had been stitching quite a bit because grandkids go to bed at 8:30 on a school night. So I stitched quite a bit then, and a lot at retreat, probably more than I've ever stitched at a retreat, which is great. I won't call out specific people, but it was just so nice to meet people whose names you've corresponded or recognized, and so it was so fun. La-di-da, rejoice always. I'm stitching this on a piece of 30 count Cordy Special Blend by R&R. Just the very much autumnal colors, which is right up my palette. And I want it to be kind of muted, and so I'm just stitching it 1/1 with the called for colors. Really pretty though. So I'll keep plugging away at that. I think I mentioned in my last video, I tend to clip them to a board when I'm showing them. And so then my system, which isn't a very good system, is when I see it's off the board, then I know I've stitched on it since the last video. This one is As the Crow Flies Pinkeep, Stacy Nash. I'm stitching it on a piece of 36 count vintage pecan butter by Lakeside Linen. I was really hoping that I would get it done, but then I looked at that house and I'm like, that house has a lot of stitches in it. So I may put this away for next year. Haven't quite decided yet. I think I will try to finish the bird at least, so that. This was gifted to me by my friend Valerie, Stitching in the Barn. So I always think of her every time that I pull it out and I'm working on it. Margot in our stitching group bailed on this Teresa Kogut Green Coat Santa chart, and she had a nice start on it, but after the amount of time I've spent stitching it, I kind of can see why she bailed, because it is a lot of stitching, but I think he's taking shape and looking really, really cute. I was working on this part last night. I think I have a counting error, and I'm going to have to build up the snow mound. I don't know how that happened. If I shortened his coat somehow, but there's no going back now. I'm not even sure what this is as far as fabric, but I'm stitching it 2/2 with the called for DMC. So that's simple enough. Let's see what this says. Oh, I love this one. So this was, I'm using the country sampler conversion for this one. It's Dasher and Dancer by Hobby House Press. And I'm using Farm Girl 40 count ironstone. I saw this up on the wall last year, a country sampler, and I'm like, okay, I'm going for it. I think once I get the border above the alphabet done, I will be, this one I'm not putting on a thing, but I I will be much happier. Let's see. I'm to you though, so that's pretty good. No way is this going to be done this year. I hope really to maybe get the top alphabet motif and above it and below it, those bands, and maybe the tree done. But it's a lot of stitching, but I know it's going to be awesome when it's done. And it's one I love it so much. I could work on it all the time. A lot of these things I could just keep going with, but I tend to stitch more than one piece in a day. And then this one is another, let's see. Oh, my bag is going down. This was a kit. I got at Country Sampler last year, maybe 2 years ago. It is Stacy Nash Primitive Be Kind Sampler. And I forget what I'm stitching this on. Maybe bees knees? Wouldn't that be appropriate? I don't know. I'd have to dig through. Well, let's see, where am I? Here I am. But I've got a nice little start of the border, and I do like how the flowers now show up. I'm glad I didn't make it any more pink. Kind of a fun stitch. I need to haul it out maybe a little bit more often. But, yeah. Just keep plugging away at it. Back to Teresa Kogut. A very, very tiny start on land that I love. I've always admired the people who have stitched this. And I think I'm using all the called for colors. And, I can't remember if, this is, let's see, 36 count Lakeside Linen Pearl Barley. I just have a tiny, tiny little start on it. Oops, that's the wrong side. But I think the blues and the reds and whites are going to pop awesome on this. Isn't that pretty? Just can't go wrong with any Lakeside linen if you can find it. Always on the hunt. I can't remember what this fabric is, but, and I think I have a mistake on the M because I think I stitched it with the wrong floss, or it's 1/2 instead of 2/2. But I'm just using Belsois Royal Icing, and it's a fun one. It's so easy to stitch because it's a bigger count, and you should just keep going on it. Get it done. It's one of the ones I bought like probably 6 years ago. This was a chart Leanne had in her stash. It's Home of the Needleworker Squared by Little House Needleworks. I'm stitching it 2/2 on a piece of 32 count Meadow Rue by Lakeside. And I'm going to try to get this done by the next video. I'm going to do a simple frame and stick it up in my sewing room with some of the other stitching sewing motifs. I keep saying I got to learn to teach myself how to make project bags, but I have quite a few WIPs and not enough project bags, so one of these days. So Cranberry Christmas by Artful Offerings. I'm stitching it on a piece of 36 count Patriots Brew. And I'm using the conversion from Country Sampler. I am a little disappointed. I thought, because it's a striped chart, and it really, I don't see the striping on the side that I have totally filled in now. But I'll just continue on. It's like, well, if it's a solid house, what's the difference? But I think it would have been cute had it been more striped. And who knows, maybe once I get it all filled in, it'll look more of the striped look. But it's a cute one. I was going to start all these samplers in September. I think I started 1 or 2. But I still might start them just so that they're started. Makes sense. This piece is being stitched on 36 count Winter's Brew. It's Red Sampler, I think it's from Belgium, by Keeping Tradition. And I'm just stitching it with Mariscus Red by Jude Design. And I love the variegation in this red. It's very, very rich. So I think, you know, like, just gotta keep plugging away at it. This one I hauled out last night again because I do want to get this done. It is With Needle and Thread by Samplers Not Forgotten. And I'm stitching it on 40 count antique lace by Number 12 Stitch Company, which is very nice linen. So I'm making progress. I love this one. I can't wait to get it done. The colors are so pretty on there. Plus, if I do, it'll open up another project bag. I think I'm using, I don't know if it's Country Sampler conversion or just what's on the chart, but I'm moving along on Remember Me by Teresa Colgate. Stitch all the things Teresa. And I love this one. So I'm kind of just jumping around with how I stitch, but I've got a nice start on the house. And now that I see more of it, you can see the pattern coming out. That's what I was hoping would happen with the Cranberry Christmas piece, but I don't think so. And on this one, I'm using, I think, all called for colors. Let's see. So the Prairie Schoolers that are left, I've got the sled guy. I hope to get the sled guy and the Paul Revere guy. I don't know. I started them in Boston, I believe. Done. But then the other, I have, let's see, 4 others. They're like floating heads. And these are ones I started one, and there's one down here that I probably should have just cut these into little pieces when I got it. But I started one while we were sitting in Chicago in the airport. So that was going into Illinois. And then I started a second one when we were in mainland Portugal. And then I started the third one when we were on Fall Farm Giel. It's, I always said Azores, but I've heard it pronounced now Azores. Little islands that are kind of between Lisbon, Portugal, and maybe Boston. So, I mean, maybe a couple hours from Boston, 4, 5, something like that. But couple, 2.5 hours from mainland Portugal. Just a beautiful, beautiful magic place. I'll talk about it later. But anyways, these are some of the guys that I have going. So let's see, I showed you 4 finished, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 here. I don't think I'll get 10 done this year, but who knows? Stranger things have happened, right? Okay. And then this was a gift, this chart from Valerie, Stitching in the Barn. She's such a sweetie. Florence Mary Dickinson, Hands Across the Sea. I ended up deciding to stitch it on 36 count vintage exemplar. Vintage exemplar by Lakeside Lights. And let's see, this goes this way. I mean, the colors are out of my comfort zone, but they're just beautiful when you see them. So I can't wait to get further on this. She had it kitted up with the called for 103 silks. So I've enjoyed using them and having them on the spool where you don't have to separate them. So it's kind of a fun stitch. I was a little intimidated at first, but I just keep working on a page until maybe I go down a little bit if it goes off the page. And then I go back to the main page and put a few more stitches in with a different color. Oh, this one, I feel like I've been working on forever. Plum Street Samplers, This Happy Morning. It will be a happy morning when I get it done. So another thing I got kitted up at Country Sampler. But I've got the house barn done. And I'm off on my border, so I need to kind of, I'm not going to take it out or anything, but I think it's maybe just 2 lines that it doesn't meet up. So just keep plugging away on that. And really, once I get that part done, I mean, it's a lot of stitching in the grass, but it'll be some mindless stitching. Once I get the trees in, then it's like, oh, just fill her in. So I feel like there's hope for that one. And let's see, oh, this one. Smith Sampler by the Scarlet House. I had a piece of 40 count lentil in my set stash by Lakeside Linens. In case you don't know what it looks like. Anytime I've seen this one live and in person, it's just such a beautiful chart. I'm taking the approach, I'm doing the border, and then I did these lines that go all the way across. And I was down to this one and then didn't realize it didn't go all the way across because the house interrupted it. So I tore some stitches out. I have to go back and see if I have the right amount torn out. But I like where I am. And I feel like once I get that border done, I'm going to be coasting. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous chart. And now that some of those other colors are coming in, can't tell you how much I love it. And then this is another one that I really plan to get done this year. Christmas in My Heart, 1843 by Samplers Not Forgotten. And I believe this was a kit from Country Sampler, so I'm using their conversion, stitching at 1/2 on a 36 count. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. And most likely I'll put the year I finish it instead of 1843. But this one just, I can't tell you how much I love it. I worked on it quite a bit at retreat, and yeah, I feel like coming around the bend and another tree and the wording, and then I will be done. Hip hip hooray! So that's, oh, I have a finish. I almost forgot about this. So I have to tweak this a little bit more. I don't want to wreck the lid because I want this to go down more. But I stitched this cute little blackbird bird, and I just have them on some, oh, well, so it's like that. But I have them on some mat board, a couple mat boards and a couple layers of Warm and Natural, pardon me, and yeah, I think it's cute. But I do believe I'd like to maybe trim it down so it sits in there a little further so I could actually put the top on. Let me see. And have it line up like that. So just got to putter with it until you get it done. Had a great time at retreat. Just, the laughter that comes with being with friends is just, it feeds my soul. So, just had a great time, and just can't say enough about how fun it was and how many nice people I met. And there was a new location, so it was great and all worked out fine. So just a fun time. So now it's back to reality. I have nothing planned. Probably will go up. My husband's just coming back from the cabin, but we'll probably go up together in the next couple of weeks for a shorter trip, and then it's gonna be like November. I can't even believe it. So I sound like the weather people. Can you believe it's November? I mean, they always say that, and it's funny when they compile a bunch of people saying the same thing. Can you believe it? Fall? So, yeah, I'm one of those people. But, not, life is gonna be settled down the next month or two, and that's okay by me. It's nice to be home and just having more stitching time, right? So anyways, I'll, received some beautiful gifts, and I'm not going to mention names, but a little Ort catcher. And then this I love, cross stitching, please do not disturb. Oh, that's so cute. With some floss strap, floss. These cute little charms. Some library card sleeves. Stitching. And I believe this little charm was from there too. And my friend Suzette, she's the sweetest, primitive stitcher. She makes these floss books, which she doesn't make them to sell any longer, but she gave me one last year and she gave me another one this year. And I just love it because I'm a floss bag user, and that way my little odds and ends don't get lost. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe put this in the retreat piece. So I love the packaging of this piece. Teresa, Shakespeare Peddler, was the guest designer, and Goodwill to All is the chart. And it's just so beautiful. I can't wait to stitch it. And in addition, so this is the beautiful chart. We each received a project bag that was made by Denise Goose. And the linen, 36 count, and all the flosses, which they were, oh, and a little scissors too. They were, look at this cute bag. I love vintage Santa. So I actually only have a couple pieces or stitches in that I asked Teresa to do, because I just think it's such a nice remembrance piece. But I will insert pictures, maybe at the end of the actual sampler. It is gorgeous. I told her I love it when I love something. I know that sounds stupid, but sometimes you get things and they just don't speak to your soul quite as much. But this one, I just love it so much. So she knocked it out of the park. Love it. Are you ready for the exciting part of what I've been buying? I felt like when I saw it all on the table in front of me, it's like I almost needed a U-Haul to get it home. But I think you'll agree with me that I have some fun stitches coming up. Before I left in my travels, I saw this piece online. It's by Quaint Rose Needle Arts, and it's Stitch and Be Merry. And I had to get it. I thought it was like so cute. It came in PDF format, so I had it instantly and was so excited. So recently, a couple months ago, I did a video about my series addiction. And at the time, I did put the disclaimer out that I might be finishing up series, but I'm not going to be starting new ones. Well, that is with the exception of the Little Quaker Pillows by Primrose Cottage. So I stopped in Lynn's of Madison on my way to retreat, and when I saw one of the Quaker patterns, I'm like, okay, it's coming home with me. So the first one I bought was Valentine's Day. And I feel like these are going to be such quick, easy stitches. The worst decision is just deciding what color of floss to use. I picked up some Mary Arden needles. I don't think I've ever used those before, so I'm kind of curious as to how they're going to be. And then, I don't know how many times I've made this mistake. Weeks, Pamlico, and Palomino. I bought the wrong one, but look how pretty these three look together. Like, it's screaming fall. And I've always liked Plum Street Samplers Penny Autumn, so I went for it. I think this isn't like, it's like 115 by 91. So some heavy stitching in there, but at least it's not overly huge. Then, guess where my next stop was? Yes, Country Sampler. It was fun because I ran into groups of people headed to the retreat, so it's always a festive occasion when that happens. If I could only, they do such a great job tying up their ribbon. I almost don't want to open it, but I'm going to be as surprised as you what's in this bag. Let's see. All right, well, I ended up getting the kit for Shakespeare's Peddler Pennsylvania Christmas Deer. I love this one, and it's got everything ready to go, so that's always a treat when you don't have to think about it too much. And then I got this beautiful seam binding. This really pretty ribbon. Like, this could go Christmas or patriotic. So I think I got 2 yards of that. And then always on the hunt for nice neutral linens to stitch on. So I got a piece of Affogato 40 count fiber on a whim. That's always a nice neutral. And then the other one I got was Cookie Crumb by Shakespeare Peddler, another 40 count. Really pretty pieces. Some brandied pears, just because. And then I got this 4th of July in a Jar by Madame Chantilly. And this one is Homespun Elegance. And it's Love Flower Hanging Pouch. And I thought, I really think I will make maybe a little pouch to go on the wall little wall space I have between the two doors. Well, that wasn't so bad, was it? But then moved on to retreat shopping. And, you know, you just can't say no when you see these things. Like this nice neutral grosgrain, I don't know if it's grosgrain, but trim, striped trim, which I really like. Some rusty bells. Cute little scissors for on a scissor fob. And then I bought some beautiful linens, R&R creme brulee, 36 count. Let's see, this is, I think this is one of, oh, I should take this out of the plastic. This is Hayseed. It's one of Shakespeare's Peddler, her son's dying line. Isn't that pretty? Just really, really a pretty color. Just a little bit of modeling. And then this color I saw and I'm like, I had to have it right away. And mostly because of the name, Anne of Green Gables. I'm gonna take this out. This is the 40 count. And it's just such a pretty color. I can't wait to show you what I think I'm going to do on it. Just really pretty variegation. And I hemmed and hawed on it because it is a little bit unusual shade. But then I decided like a cream, wait, did I go crooked? I don't know. Sorry. A cream stitch on it just would be so pretty. And I found something later on that I think is going to be the one thing I'm going to stitch on it. Then you see like the samples of things, and that's what sucks me in. So I came home with quite a few Shakespeare Peddlers. Most Wonderful. I love this. And it comes with little snowflakes. Then I've always loved Jenny Bean's Christmas Sampler. One Nickel Needles. This is, it kind of is more patriotic-y. And then Jenny Beans and Friends. This is a cute one. And then this one I loved. Someday Soon We All Will Be Together. And my toast at the holidays is the part of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I probably said this before. But the part that through the years, may we always be together. So I think I might change the wording and chart that and put that on instead. And then Jenny Bean Garden, the green bean sampler. I just had to have this. So I don't know what I'm going to be stitching it on yet, but just very, very cute. And then did a little antiquing. Didn't come home with tons and tons of stuff, but some seam tape. I always buy, if it's like $1 or under for an unopened package, I snap it up because it's just great to use on little pillows. And then I spied this little oblong box, and the design on the top is kind of faded, but on the sides it's beautiful. And then when you open up the box, look how lovely that is. So I think definitely I would do something where the box was open, or just do some small pillows that wouldn't hide that. And as we were looking, there was another box like this that had hose stamped on the bottom. So we thought maybe it was a box that was made for hose back in the day. Who knows? Then on the way home, I had always wanted to stop in Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, not too far from Madison, at a little shop called, well, it's not so little, but in my mind it was going to be tiny. Witchery Stitchery. And yeah, it did not disappoint. A nice assortment. I didn't really look at the linens. They were, I don't think they carry a lot of over dyes, but a nice assortment of flosses and a wonderful assortment of charts. So of course I went right away for the half price ones. I ended up with a heart and hand for Bonnie. I thought this would be really, you know, if you take away the frame, which dates it, it'd be really cute. And I love the saying, a heart for an old friend, a hand for a new friend. And then, you know, my series addictions, like, because I saw these, I had to have them. They're only a couple dollars. So I got the trilogy, the spring lineup, and I don't know, I might do something other than the turtles and the frog. I don't want to bring Froggy and Luck to myself. And then they also had the summer one, which is cute. So I will someday add on to my series with that. And then another one that I had stitched in Autumn Design was by Blue Ribbon Designs, and this one's Sealed with a Kiss. And I stitched the fall one early on, back to stitching, and it just was really a fun stitch. And I think I stitched 1/2 on 32, so it's kind of wispy and airy. Well, anyways, here is that chart. So I don't know if I'll start that this year for this year's Valentine, but I always love a good patriotic, and I definitely probably would just do the house and maybe the flag underneath and some stars, no wording. But I think even if you changed it to overdyed current colors, it would be really a nice, timely piece. And then to carry on the love theme, Plain and Fancy Collection, Wondrous Love. That would be really a quick stitch. Redworks Snowflake Sewing Bag by Stacy Nash. Pretty motif. And then this one I always like, Blessings Abound by Plum Street Samplers. And I don't know how many of these I would have really bought if they hadn't been half off. But then there was a chart by Maggie Bonami. I never can say it. Fond Hearts. I thought that was pretty. And Mary Noel Collection, Sandra Sullivan, this cute little angel. And this I thought would be great in my sewing room. The Cherrywood Design Studios Floss definition. And then the last half price one I got was Lottie Da's Our Daily Bread. And this, I don't even know if I would stitch the border. I don't know. I love the colors of it though. And then, of course, we had to move on to the regular price charts. So guess what I came home with? I was really looking for autumn, couldn't find that, but we ended up with the Winter and the Quaker by Primrose Cottage. And of course, some weeks, well, not of course, but some weeks Oscar. And then this is the one that I think I might use for this Anna Green Gables fabric. Ink Circles, a Holly Jolly Mandela. So it's either that one or the Snowflake Tree by Scissortail Designs. But then I also saw this one and I thought this one would be beautiful and it would be more everyday. It's another Ink Circles and Sumatran lace. I did After the Roses and I absolutely love that one. And what? Here's some more. Flag of Glory Needlebook by Chessie and Me. And then this one I blame on my friend Donna because I never really paid attention to this. But it's Inspiration, Rosewood Manor. And she was talking about how this is kind of her like dream chart to stitch, but she just hasn't done it yet. Well, in the shop, they had the model stitched up. And as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just gorgeous. And I have this big frame. I have to calculate out what size I'm going to stitch it and that sort of thing. But it just was so gorgeous stitched up. And I'm like, I just had to have it. So I bought it. But, you know, you talk about being enabled, and I feel like, you know, I usually don't go on this much of a spending spree, but when you see things live stitched up, it's definitely the push you need a lot of times to say, oh, I'm just going to take that. Do you think I can get this all stitched in the next year? Probably not. Okay. I did not mean to blah, blah, blah that long. And I feel like I was just sitting down to talk to friends about it or something. But, yeah, now it's like, ooh, check that one off the list. And as you get older, it's just kind of a weird thought because you always feel like you have time to go places or go back to places. And, you know, I'm starting to see, you know, just what a difference like having a bad knee or, you know, being able to walk. I mean, the one day I don't know if I had 79 flights of stairs on my iWatch. It was like, what the heck? That was when I walked up the castle walls. But, you know, you just don't know how long you're going to be able to do that, especially, you know, if there's two of you doing it. It's great when you can take advantage of being able to do the physical stuff that can come with traveling. And my proudest moment, I packed we did check bags, but my suitcase was 21 pounds. I really would like to take a bow for that. I mean, I am a serious overpacker, but I have my little luggage scale, and I hauled out stuff that I thought I was going to bring, and then I weighed each piece, and if it was like 2 pounds, it's like, nope, you're not coming with me. So I very intentionally packed, and we had a washer on the island, so that did help, because then we washed from the first week, washed before we left, and then, you know, it was just another week. So from that standpoint, but I didn't take a lot of extra shoes. I think I brought one necklace and a bracelet. Just really kept it streamlined and realized, like, it's not that hard to do. So I'm really gonna try to have that be my way of traveling from now on, because sometimes, like when we go to Florida, I have so many different outfits because I don't know what I'm gonna feel like. But it's like, well, you just choose from what you have, basically, and don't have to haul 50-pound suitcase around from location to location. All right, well, I've probably rambled for how long? Half an hour at least. So I'm going to say goodbye now so that I can get this edited and maybe include some trip pictures or little video clips. I have to see how long it is, because I don't intend to snip it into 2, but I might have to. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But I hope you're all doing well. If you haven't subscribed, please do, so we can get that giveaway up and running next video. And yeah, I hope you all are doing well and continue to fill the world with love. See ya.